So the other part of topic 1 is data visualization. And again, we are going to keep this really simple here. We're going to just be using the base Matplotlib library that allows you to do simple visualizations. If you were to be trying to do anything more advanced, there are other libraries with a lot more features, but this is the base one that is a good light intro into visualizing data. So obviously data visualization is very powerful because it allows us as the subject matter experts to abstract away complexity for our decision makers so that better decisions can be made more quickly. Instead of showing someone a giant grid of numbers, you can show them a simple chart and they can see very quickly what trends are happening or whatnot. It just allows you to paint a picture for them instead of trying to have them understand the deep details. So first thing we're going to do is just set up Matplotlib. The software is installed, or the module or library is installed with Python, but it's not included unless you include it. So I'm going to do matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So I'm just, remember, this is just an alias, which makes it easier for me to access that as I'm working. So that's just my import, and then I'm going to bring in some data. This is a simple file. It's just showing for a few counties, I think there's 5 counties in Iowa, the population, and so and the number of households. And I'm just going to put this on a plot. So you can see I've got first import CSV because it's a CSV file. And then this is that same thing I did the other week where I'm kind of shortcutting. I'm creating 3 empty lists, county label, county population, and county number of households. This is just a shorthand way of doing this without having to say county label equals empty list, county population equals empty list, and county number of households equals empty list. I'm just doing it all in one line. And then I'm doing that same stuff we've done previously with open. This is the CSV file, giving an alias of CSV file. I'm doing the reader, CSV reader, using a delimiter of comma because that's what the file has. That I'm doing that same thing we did before. I'm doing for the first line, skip it because that has headers and I don't care about the headers in my data. So I'm saying if it's not the first line right here, then for every line after the first line, append the first item into county label, the second item in that row into county population, and the third item in that row into county number of households. So in the end, I am populating 3 lists with the data in my file. Now continuing on, I'm just going to print that so you can see what it looks like now that it's been imported. I'm printing these 3 lists. And you can see I've got 5 counties here: Dallas, Dickinson, Polk, Warren, and Lynn, and then the population for each one of those counties and the number of households for each one of those counties. So I've got my data here now ready to utilize. So now I want to get a visual of that. So first of all, I'm going to just create an empty list called plot count. And then I'm going to do a for, and I'm going to figure out how many plots I'm plotting this way. So I'm going to say for v in range length of the label of county label plot count dot append. So it's allowing me to create a plot for each one of my counties. And then I'm going to create a bar chart using plt.bar, and then this is the data that's going to be there. The plot count, which is going to essentially be 1 through 5. The county population, and then I'm going to give it a color of red. And then I'm going to plot the, so first I'm doing the bar chart, then I'm doing a line chart over the top of it, and you can see it's plt.plot, and then that's going to be the number of households, and then it's going to be in green. Now there are a bunch more variables that can be set for these. These are just the simple ones. A few simple ones to kind of show some variation between the two. If you wanted to see more details, you should go to the Matplot library documentation and see some more of the options that you have. I'm going to put in the X ticks so I can say what the plot count is and then use the county label. And then I'm going to give my chart a title. I'm going to give it an X-axis label and a Y-axis label. And I can run this, and you can see out of all that, you can't see it because it's off the screen. Out of all that, I get this nice plot here, you can see I've got my bar chart, which is the population in red, and then I've got my green line chart for the number of households. Obviously, these two things would trend the same. If you have more households, presumably unless you have a bunch of houses sitting empty, or you have a county where the density in a household is different than it would be in other counties, you would expect these things to trend very similarly, and of course they do. But I was able to put those two things on the same plot. I was able to give it a title. I was able to show my population along the left edge, and then my county label along the x-axis. Very easy to see, very quick view of this information for someone to be able to look at that needs to make decisions. I don't know what the decision would be in this case, but nonetheless.